Hello everyone, it's Doris Colgate here with Steve Colgate doing our hashtag Dockside Chats with Steve. We've done 12 of these so far, I think it's 12, and we're going to keep on going. And today Steve wants to tell you a little bit more about the early days of doing ocean racing.
Well, I really wanted to get into the navigation that we used to do, and that was dependent on a called celestial navigation. It was dependent on having a sextant to help determine your position. This one is old. I bought it in Japan in 1960, but it's as usable as ever. And so when you can't get a sight, and the weather's bad, or the seas are too heavy, or something like that, and you can't get the sight, or you don't have a chronometer to get the proper time, then you're somewhat in trouble. So you have to rely on just time, speed, distance, dead reckoning, and that is in back when we started in 1955, the transatlantic race. We had what was called a walker log. It was a taffrail log that it was attached to the stern of the boat, and it was a long line and a little spinner at the end of the line, which sharks seem to like and take. But that would then tell you how many nautical miles you had traveled through the water over a period of time. And every half hour we'd look at that walker log and record for the navigator down below that reading of the walker log. And so it turned out to be very accurate. Once we had the backup of a celestial sight, it tended to be within a mile or two of the dead reckoning position. So one Bermuda race early on, I forget which one it was, but I've done 20 of them, and they're every other year, every even year. And one Bermuda race, we were approaching Bermuda in the evening in a rainstorm. We had not had a sight for 2 days. It was terrible conditions, and being the watch captain, I was able to go down below out of the rain every once in a while and check on the navigation and find out how the navigator's doing and where we were. So I go down below. We're on a port tack, close haul towards Bermuda, and I'm talking to the navigator, and he said, I said, you know, you look a little concerned. What is the problem? He said, well, I don't really know where we are. Back then, you had an RDF, a radio direction finder, that you tuned in on a radio station in Bermuda that was at the airfield. It was about 28 miles down from where we were trying to go around North Buoy. And it was a very unreliable reading. And he said, I'm just getting a terrible reading on this. I don't know exactly where we are. And we were looking at the depth finder, bathymeter, and all of a sudden the depth finder went down to 12 feet. And we, God. So I rushed up on deck and yelled, tack, tack, tack! And we went over. You know, if we just hit a coral head or something like that, it would have been all over. And there are reefs all the way around Bermuda, so I'm amazed that so few boats have gone up on the reef. We almost did. And about 2 hours later, we find North Buoy and we tack around and go to the finish line, and everything was fine. But that's the way navigation was back when we started out, and we didn't have GPS or anything like that. Later on, I'll be talking to you about LORAN, long-range navigation. We had LORAN later on. We also had CONSOLAN, which was dots and dashes. I'll talk to you a little bit about that later. Thank you.